Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? Why should my heart be lonely and long for earth and home? When Jesus is my portion, my constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me.
Good morning, welcome to Unity Temple on the Plaza. Yay! I was on a roll. So this week was the Unity Convention, and so if you're here from that, I'd like to welcome you. This is going to be a wonderful Sunday, and then also if this is your first time, welcome. And after service, you're welcome to come downstairs, have some refreshment, and join in some wonderful conversation. So we'd like to welcome you for that. We've got a couple of announcements. We've got prayer chaplain training, which if you look in your bulletins, you'll see the dates for that. The first date is going to be on July 9th at 11:45, and so if you're interested in that you could sign up online. And then also on July 22nd, there's going to be the full training from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So if you're interested in becoming a prayer chaplain, which if you look around, you'll see some people with white stalls on. If there's ever a time that you're needing someone to pray with you, to be in a space with you, feel free and welcome to talk to them. So now we will begin our service with the temple chimes, the opening prayer, and the call to inspiration by Aaron. If you recite this with me. On this day, we dedicate ourselves to peace on earth. We accept ourselves without harsh judgment and express appreciation for our individuality. We live without fear to meet the events of this day with confidence. We accept others without prejudice, to experience a sense of unity with all people. We honor our earthly environment and recognize this sense of oneness with all creation, in harmony with ourselves, our lives, other people, and all of nature. We live this day with a peaceful mind, a peaceful heart, and a peaceful spirit. Thank you, God. Amen.
Lean into the light. Take part in peace. Make space in your heart. For now is the time for love. Lead into the light. Take part in peace. Make space in your heart. For now is the time for love.
Remember a story in the Bible days. You took a man called Moses with a rod in his hand. Told Moses, take the rod in your hand, stretch it forth and walk on dry land. If you can use anything, Lord, you can use me. Use me, Jesus, use me.
Anything, Lord, you can use me.
That's our prayer today. Take my hand my heart.
Speak through me. If you can use anything, Lord, you can use me.
I remember a story, I remember it well. You took a shepherd boy, David, with a sling in his hand. He took the rock with the sling in his hand. He flung the rock and the giant fell dead. If you can use anything, Lord, you can use me.
Take my hand.
Take my hand and my feet, touch my heart. Speak through me, Lord.
Lord, you can use me.
I want to be your surrendered vessel every day.
Anything, Lord, you can use me.
Lord, take these feeble hands,
And my
touch my stony heart.
speak through me. If you can use anything, Lord, you can use me.
Lord,
If you can use anything, Lord, you can use me.
use me, Jesus. Use me for your glory.
Anything, Lord, you can use me.
Lord, take these hands,
Lord, and my feet.
touch my heart.
Lord, speak through me. If you can use anything, Lord, you can use me.
Anytime or anywhere, you can use me.
Lord, you can use me.
Doesn't matter how big or small, you can use me.
Lord.
You can use me.
Hey, thank all of you for doing this. It's just, first Sundays are always the best for me. It's good to have you here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Unity Temple in the Plaza. Well, first of all, I have to say I see people here that I haven't seen in a long, long time. Some people are near, some people are from afar, and also streaming. I know some people are watching us or they're joining us today. But to see people that I haven't seen for so long, it excites me, it melts my heart, it just makes me forget all about what I'm going to say. So with that, we'll go into the silence of meditation. For those of you who haven't been here for some time, I'd like to bring you up to date on my cousin Ozzy. The talk today is on choices, our freedom to choose, and Ozzy really exercises that right strongly. And oftentimes, his choices have consequences that aren't exactly pleasant for him or for other people. But he and Lars Iverson decided to take a weekend and go to Chicago. They get to the airport, they board the plane. As they're walking back to their seats in economy, Ozzy walks by a seat in first class and sees that it's empty. So when he and Lars sit down, he says, I'm going to watch that seat, and if nobody takes it, I'm going to sneak up there when we take off, and I'm going to sit in it. So he does exactly that. The plane takes off, the stewardess or the flight attendants are buckled into their seats. He sneaks up there, he gets in the first class seat. Well, once the plane is leveled out, flight attendant comes by and says, "May I see your ticket, please?" As he shows her a ticket, she says, "Well, this is economy. I'm sorry you can't sit here." Well, his choice at that point was to argue with her. He says, "Well, why not? Nobody else is sitting here. It's not going to hurt anything. I was the first one to get here, so I deserve to sit here." She raised her voice and said, "You can't sit there, sir. You need to go back to your seat immediately." He raised his voice and said, "I'm not going to. Leave me alone." So the flight attendant leaves and comes back with her supervisor. And her supervisor looks at him and he says, "I know what you're going to say. I am not leaving." So she bends down and whispers something in his ear. Ozzy looks at her, gets up, goes back and sits down next to Lars. Well, Lars Arvidsson saw this whole thing and he said, "What did she say to you anyway?" "Well, she saved me. I would have been in a lot of problems if she wouldn't have told me what she did. The first class seats don't go to Chicago." Some of you will laugh at that on the way home, and some of you will never laugh at it, and that's okay too. Anyway, welcome. I hope everybody has a very safe, happy, and peaceful Independence Day weekend. We gather on this day, this particular church day, but also on the 4th of July to appreciate and to contemplate and to celebrate the freedom that we have. And part of that freedom is very, very well stated in the Declaration of Independence. If we can put that on screen. It reads, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all people are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." Now, the important points there, we hold these truths to be self-evident, and that is you don't have to think about it, you don't have to study, you don't have to research it. It is just clear, plain, that is true for everybody. All people are created equal, endowed by God with certain inalienable rights that cannot be taken away, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, that is beautiful. It gives me a certain degree of confidence that I'm living in the right country, then I can do what I want to do. But at the same time, at this time in our country, I believe we aren't guaranteed life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We're told that we have that right, but we're not guaranteed. Because if we speak out freely about some of our beliefs, if other people, a small group of people, believe otherwise, we can be persecuted, we can be criticized, we can even be abused. If we want to live the life that we know is ours to inherently live, sometimes we can't do that. We still have hate crimes in this country, we have discriminations, we have prejudices, all sorts of things that hold us back from being abused by other small groups of people that believe that we're not right. So when it gets down to it, these are beautiful ideals, but we're not at a point right now where in this country that they are self-evident to everybody. Now, the one right that we do have, an inalienable right, something that nobody can ever take away from us, and that is our power to choose what we want to do, as long as it doesn't violate the God-given rights of another person to choose what they want to do, or what they want to say, or where they want to go. We have that right. Now, we have the right to respond. There's all sorts of bad people in the world, and we don't have the right, or we have no control over making all those people transform into angels, or make all those people go away and not be in front of us. We have to respond to them in a way where we hold to a sense of peace and understand that they also can live the life that they want to live, as long as it doesn't violate my God-given rights to live the life that I want to live. We have the power to choose, and the choices that we make are the choices that create the experience that we have in life. It's our response to what's going on in life. It's not what's going on out there that we have no control over. Now, I've told this story many times, but I want to share it with you again because it means a lot to me. When I was growing up, there was a young man named Richard, and Richard was a very small kid, smaller than the rest. He grew up to be a very small man, under 5 foot. And as a result of that, he was bullied a lot when he was growing up. He was teased, he was pushed around, and he was made the subject of a lot of jokes. The result of that was Richard grew up to be a very mean, nasty little man. He very seldom said a civil word to anybody. He always had a chip on his shoulder, and the slightest irritation, he would lash out and really abuse people with his language. Well, Richard was a welder, and he would weld and repair water towers. He would go up in the towers, they'd drain the water, he'd put on a harness on a pulley, he'd come down, and wherever the cracks were, he'd go over and weld them. Well, one day, his harness gave way, and he fell 25 or 30 feet, landed on his head, rushed to the hospital, and he's in a coma for about 7 or 8 days. When he came to, he had lost his memory. He had no idea who he was. The people, friends and family that came to visit him, he didn't recognize them. He was just totally oblivious to his state of being. He had lost his self-concept. And in addition to losing his memory about the people and places that he once knew, he lost his memory that he was a mean, nasty little man. Now, the people that came to see him, naturally their sympathy went out. They felt sorry for him, so they treated him with love and kindness, and they brought him presents and gifts, and he responded accordingly, and pretty soon he became a wonderful, nice, loving person. Now, oftentimes I think of that, and I wonder, how would it be if I could erase my entire mind from things I did in the past and become a new and different person? I'm comfortable now with who I am, but at one time, I would pray to erase my memory, let me start over. This just isn't working for me. I made mistakes, I had problems, I caused a lot of hardships for different people. And at that time, if I could have erased them, it would have been a brand new start. But naturally, I couldn't. Well, when I came to Unity, I learned that I didn't have to fall 25 or 30 feet, land on my head, in order to change the person that I was. I learned that I had the power to change my mind. The conditioning that I went through as a child and growing up, and even in my teen years, led me to believe certain things that weren't true, led me to act out in ways that weren't convenient for the people around me. It made me stand up for what I had learned was the truth in growing up from family, first of all, community, churches, and teachers. And so I held to those beliefs. And there's a lot of discrimination in those beliefs. But when I got older, moving into adulthood, and I discovered I can change those beliefs. I don't have to carry them with me. I don't have to suppress them. I can change my mind, and I can change my power to choose how I'm going to act or react or respond to other people and even to situations in life. The second thing I learned is that I had to establish values in life. What did I really value? And this goes way beyond material possessions or money or power or fame. It was about what's going to make my life better and how can I best serve this world with the values that I hold to. So I went to Jesus for this, and the first thing I learned was that Jesus based his entire ministry on 3 things, and the first was peace. Peace of mind. And what I got from that is, if we have peace of mind, we can deal with almost any situation or circumstance that comes before us. If we have peace of mind, we can stand in front of the most detestable person in the world and not be put off by that person or get angry or even fight back. If we have peace of mind, we can face problems that seem insurmountable, we can face challenges that we can't seem to move beyond, and know that the way will come to help us do that, or the problem or challenge will just go away. The fourth thing I learned is that with these values, they have to be practiced. I spent my entire life being one way, as all of you have, living by a certain belief system, and when we try to change our mind and change our habits and conditions, it takes a little bit of time. I remember, everybody here remembers that, the first day in first grade, I believe it was, where the teacher stands before us in front of the blackboard, and she said, pointing to letters across the top of the blackboard. They're on big green cards, white letters, capital letters, and small letters. And she said, we are going to learn these letters, and if you don't learn them, you'd be right back here next year doing the same thing over. So pay attention. So every day, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. And then she even made a little song that we could sing. A, B, C, D, E. Anybody remember that? Yeah. And finally, we did it. But then she says, okay, we're going to take these letters and we're going to mix them up and we're going to make words. And I thought, oh, no. And we started with easy words like dog, cat, Dick, Jane. See dog chase cat. See Dick chase dog. See Jane chase Dick. And it eventually expanded to the point where we had sentences. We took the words and we had sentences that we learned how to write out. And then after a while, we put those sentences together and we built paragraphs. And then we could write entire papers just based on the letters that we learned in first grade. That seemed insurmountable at that time. I never thought that I'd be able to do it. Well, the same thing is true with life. We go through situations and circumstances. We say, I cannot stand that person. I don't want to be in their presence. I curse them the day they were born. But we can change that. We can change it to the point where we can be kind to them. We don't have to hang out with them. We don't even have to be in their presence. But we can be kind to them when they come across our way. We can change the person that we are in regards to the habits that we have. I know that anger is a big habit for a lot of people. Certain things just fire them off like that. And they get mad at other people. They get mad at things. They get mad at situations. And they kind of go through life a little bit grumpy. We can change the way we respond to people in our family, to friends and people that we work with. The point that I'm trying to make is that the mind is so much more powerful than what we believe or that what we know. Look at what it's done so far to bring you here. All the things you've accomplished, all the problems you've solved, all the big setbacks that you've gone through, like we all have, all the torment that we face because life sometimes can be very cruel. But through our mind, we can change all of that by holding to our values. Now, with the choices we make, every choice has a consequence. And that consequence can be good or it can be bad. So when it comes to a point we're about to make a choice, whether it's out of a negative emotion or a positive emotion, we just have to stop for a moment and say, what's the consequence of this going to be? Is it going to be good for me? Is it going to align with my values? Or is it going to take me off on a different path? That's one that I don't want to be on. And with that, we do what's called a pattern interrupt. We interrupt the pattern of our habitual thoughts. We interrupt the pattern of our conditioning, and we replace it with the positive alignment of our values with the choices that we make. And with that, life ceases to be a dangerous walk where we never know when we're going to be upset or disturbed or set back, whatever the reason might be. We know that everything's going to work out because the values that we hold are good for us, they're good for the people that we come in contact with, and we become a beneficial presence to the world because the values are good, and that's what the world needs right now. So keep that in mind as we move into meditation. Peace, harmony, and love. Peace, the greatest desire we have. Harmony, our most natural state. And love, the greatest experience we can have on this earth. Peace, harmony, and love. We'll meditate on that in a minute. Okay, as we move into meditation, take a moment to make yourself comfortable in your seat. Yeah, just spend a moment or two breathing, focusing on your breath. Breathing in, feel your body adjusting to the breath. And breathing out, feel your body adjust to breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And as we do so, we move deeper and deeper into a place of peace, into that special place within our heart where we know that everything is right. We recognize the person that we are. We recognize the path that is ours to choose through life. If we find ourselves in a path that doesn't fit us, that is difficult to walk, that just didn't seem to resonate with our heart's desire, by no means should we continue on that. When we look for our unique and individual path, we look for one thing and one thing only. And that is, does it have a heart? Does it support me? Does this path love me? Does this path encourage me to be kind and to love others? And then we know it's a path for us to walk. As you move into the silence, think about yourself, think about the life that you're living, think about the choices that you can make, and think about the power that you have to change your mind. In the silence. We slowly begin to come back for meditation. And as we do so, we come back with a renewed attitude towards life, a new hope and a faith for the future. And as I speak these words, please make them your own and say them to yourself. A peaceful mind. I am at peace with all the situations and circumstances in my life. A peaceful heart. I am at peace with all the people in my world. and peaceful spirit. I'm at peace with myself and the life that I am living. Peaceful mind, peaceful heart, peaceful spirit. And so it is.
The song is called Lean Into the Light, and it's a composition by me.
I invite you now to take your love offering in your hands and join with me in this offering blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive, and so it is. We bless these gifts and the givers, and know that these gifts go forward to bless this temple and all whose lives we touch.
Oftentimes I dream of you.
Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, choir. That was all very, very beautiful. Thank you, Duke, for the lesson. Millie and Robert, this service today was very special, and thank you all for being here. The choice you made to show up, you never know whose life that makes a difference in, just your smile, your presence, your energy. So thank you all for being here today. Now we'll close with a prayer for protection and the peace song. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.